right, hello everyone. Welcome to our webinar, Proper IT Planning and Strategic Decisions. Thanks for joining us today. We will start with some slides and we will start with introducing ourselves. So my name is Dennis Westhoff. Some of you might know me from the sales team and the partner management team. And today I brought you my colleague, Stefan Bohnenkamp, who's an expert for RayVentory and all topics regarding that area.
Yeah, so thanks, Dennis. Also from my side, be welcome. My name is Stefan Bohnenkamp. I am product manager and pre-sales consulting here at RayNet, and yeah, I'm happy to let you welcome. And
all right, so what will we show you today? First of all, we have many new faces in here. So I would like to give you a short introduction to RayNet. So who are we? And after that, we will go into detail regarding CMDB data quality. So I will show you on some slides what we can do for you and your CMDB or your CMDB team. After that, Stefan will show you everything in a live demo. We will also show you the feature highlights of our newest version of RayVentory, and after that we will have a Q&A session where you can ask your questions. And if you have any questions during our presentation, please feel free to add those already to the panel, which should be on the right side of your screen, where you can ask your questions and we will answer those in the Q&A session. All right, so just real quick, who's RayNet? So RayNet is a Germany-based company founded in 1999. We are in Paderborn, so every one of you who has not been to Germany yet, please feel free to come to Paderborn to visit us. It's really beautiful here and we are the center of Germany. Also, we have other offices in Germany like Regensburg, Berlin, and Ingolstadt, but also we are an international company, which means we are in Turkey, we are in the USA, we are in Poland, in UK, and we have many partners, which you will see in a second, who also work internationally. At the moment, we are about 120 plus employees, and we have customers all over the world, and those are more than 1,000. What we offer as a company is in 4 areas. So first area is that we offer services in the application lifecycle management, for example, software packaging, inventory services, software deployment services like endpoint management. And also we have software solutions for those areas. And in addition to that, we can offer you trainings in all areas. And of course, we have a great support for those solutions. And if you're interested in Gartner, which is very interesting, that we were mentioned in 2020 in the software asset management tools quadrant. So that's what it's today about also. And also in the unified endpoint management quadrant, we are mentioned in 2020 and 2021. Regarding partners and customers, you can find some of our partners on the left side. So the big 4, for example, Accenture, PwC, and Deloitte use RayVentory for their customers and also for themselves. And also you have big partners like T-Systems, which should be internationally known, or AWS, who use RayVentory. And also on the customer side, all of those listed on the right side are customers in the area of inventory, so using RayVentory and other solutions. So if you need a reference call or something like that, please feel free to get back to us and we can organize that for you. But let's jump into today's topic, CMDB data quality. I already mentioned Gartner, and they have a recent study which is really interesting, which says 71% of organizations have problems with their CMDB, or they say their data is not good or not good enough. And based on that, 40% also say that initiatives based on those data can't happen or they fail because the data quality is too poor. And we have a simple solution for that. So what are typical problems? First of all, you have missing assets. So your software solution or endpoint management doesn't know all the assets. That's the first point. Also, some assets might be listed twice. So you have duplicated assets in your CMDB. You have incomplete assets, which means, for example, you know that there is a device out there, but you don't know which software is installed on it. And also you have offline devices which have no more connection to any other device or solution. And our approach to that is pretty simple but effective. So we have a look at your CMDB, and in this example it serves now because it's very much used. It can be any other CMDB as well. And we just check whether there is incomplete data, offline devices, duplicated devices, also missing devices, of course, and therefore we check different sources. For example, this can be your endpoint management, such as SCCM or MECM, as it's called today. It can be your Active Directory, your Azure instance, or also, of course, a scanner like RayVentory. And what we do is we combine those data in an ETL process. So we extract those, we transform those, and we load those. And therefore, when we gather the data, so we collected all of them, we normalize it, which means that we can add further information to it. So for example, if you have a software, we can tell you when it's out of support or when there is an update available. And also, very important, we can tell you if there is a current vulnerability. So this gets updated daily, and you will be informed whether there is any vulnerability in your environment. And here's the whole process. So you can see 3 steps. On the left side, we gather all the data, for example, from VMware, from SCCM, ServiceNow, or Active Directory. And we have more than 130 connectors out of the box today, which is growing every day. And all those data gets loaded into our data management solution, where we add further information with our technology catalog. And after that, after we have optimized your data, we will refill your CMDB again so that you have a single source of truth, which is your CMDB. All right, and the solutions behind that, first of all, of course, is RayVentory, our data management solution, and the RayVentory catalog is added to that, which adds further information regarding your assets. Okay, and now we can go to the live demonstration.
Quite good. Okay. For the live demonstration, we are choosing a little bit different approach. We would like to start with the result. So this is what you get when the process, so getting data and transforming them is done. Then you will get a quick overview about your CMDB quality in this dashboard. So we start on the left side with our asset data. We see we have a lot of sources of data sources, which different number of devices in this case. Maybe for RayVentory, it's around about 1,500, or from Active Directory, around about 2,000. And this data, this device and user data are used to feed the CMDB in the next steps. So at first, we are collecting the data, we transform them, and we compare the data from the inventory and from the CMDB side. And the result is that what you can see on the right side, this is a snapshot about your CMDB, and in this case, you see maybe we have a few problems with it, or with, in this case, duplicated assets. So we found, duplicated assets in your CMDB. Through the ETL process, we found incomplete assets where informations are still missing, or maybe they are incorrect, like what could it be? A false IP address, maybe false hardware data, and so on. And we see the offend assets in your CMDB, and we can display them in this diagram. And we also are able to drill down on a location level. So we can display informations like, how many missing assets are still missing in my CMDB and where are they located. In this case, we have 50 missing assets from Poland, which are not included in my CMDB. So this dashboard gives you a holistic overview about, or a snapshot view about your CMDB quality. So you see there is something still missing, there is something still not correct. But now we would go a little bit deeper. We don't want to see, or we not only want to see that is something not okay, we want to see what is not okay, what is missing. And for this, we are using our asset information report, where we get a first overview about our assets, about the assets or our devices in our environment. So starting on the right side, we see, okay, we have a location, we see where is the device located, and what is the status of this asset, of this device. So we can directly see, okay, this asset is maybe located in our CMDB, but it isn't active, it isn't in our environment anymore. And on the right side, we see the source, the inventory source, where we get this device information. In the first row, this is in this example, it is a combined source. It is combined with data from the CMDB and with SDCM. So these data are matched, and through this we created a new source, a combined source. We also can do this with SCCM and RayVentory. We can do this with Active Directory and RayVentory, and so on and so on. So we combine a lot of data sources, and we can display in detail where this device comes from. So like I said, we don't want to see that anything is still incorrect. We want to see what is missing. In this case, we have a lot of free space in this report, which means there are still some informations missing, like the MAC address, like RAM informations, memory informations, or informations about the graphic card. And now it's up to you to take some measures. I see we have maybe from the CMDB and SDCM missing data sets, and now it's up to us to find a strategic to get these data, maybe through adding some more data sources, using more inventory methods on client side, and so on and so on. There are many possibilities to solve those problems. And when we are talking about data, we are also able to extend the inventory data with additional data from our technology catalog, like Mr. Westhoff said before. We using a technology catalog to enrich our data within the ETL process. And a quite good way to get a quick overview about those data, or what the catalog provides is our visibility summary. This is a snapshot about your whole IT, your whole environment, IT environment, your infrastructure. So we get an overview about your used software products. We get license types, like it is open source, it is freeware, and so on. We get the count of software vendors, and also the business functions of each software, like browser and so on. And we're also able to drill down a little bit or go a little bit deeper. Based on the catalog informations, we can provide some more, I would say, visibility. We can display how much business functions are used or typically used in your environment. Like runtime files in this case are 8 times used, or we can see vulnerable softwares or software products. And we also get some hardware informations or holistic hardware overview. In this case, we have around about over 700 devices, so the device count, we get the hardware vendors, the different models, and we also drill down into the operating systems like Debian and so on. The second big point, or another software information part is the end of life and end of support data. For each software product, you get the end of life date, and you see, is it supported by the vendor or is it completely out of support? And you also can see the installations in your environment. So if you maybe plan to reduce your software portfolio, you can use these metrics to create a strategic and to rationalize your software portfolio. Additionally to that, we are getting some software vulnerability information. This information are NIST-based, and you see in a holistic way what software products are vulnerable. You see the affected devices, and you can filter by a score. Maybe you want to see, we have the mostly vulnerabilities are in the range between 7 and 9. Then you can define your scope and filter it. Then you see the specific software products with the version, even or also with an end of life date and its score. And you also see the affected devices, so you can maybe find a strategic to, or you can what would I like to say? You can get a first look about the impact of the vulnerability. So maybe you have a finding with a high score, but only one device is affected, so the impact for your company isn't much higher in this case. And the last point is the hardware overview. This is a snapshot about your hardware portfolio. So if you plan to reduce it, maybe to focus on 1 or 2 vendors, this is a quite good way to build a strategic. Okay. But before we get those data, or we get additional data to our inventory information, we have to do some tasks. We have to do an inventory. We have to collect data, and we have to transform them into a standardized output. And for this, we are using our default ETL process with a lot of transformation steps. In this process, we are using the enabled data sources like Active Directory, SCCM, RayVentory, and so on. And the first part of the process is mapping all the data, so bring them together. The second part is to filter and deduplicate them. So in the second step, we are build the result table, the output, and the third step is to enrich those data with technology catalog data, like end of life or end of support informations. And you see, we have, I guess, around about over 200 steps, and this is a really complex process, which I would like to show you in a visual way. This may take a few moments because all these steps are now going to be visualized. And when it's ready, we get a huge, oh, I can't scroll out, okay. Little bit, we see in the beginning the different data sources. We can have a closer look on it. In this case, it is AWS, so AWS instances, maybe Adobe accounts, and so on. So the first part is a lot of collecting data from the sources and bring them together in the next steps. So this is a quite good part where you see, okay, we have two data sources and we bring them together in maybe a first temp table, so that we can work with it in the next steps. And maybe you can imagine this complete process is really, really complex, but it is full automatized. So when you collect the data, when you enable the connectors and run the ETL process, it does all out of the box. So the complete transformation is done out of the box. And out of the box is the right wording in this place because we ship with RayVentory a lot of connectors. Round about over 130 from different types like infrastructure, like Active Directory, SCCM, RayVentory, and so on, but also SaaS applications like in this case Jira, or what is the next good example, Salesforce, also often used Microsoft 365, also an important connector. So you see, we bring a lot of inventory capabilities out of the box with RayVentory. Okay.
All right, thanks for the live presentation. Let us summarize what you've seen right now. We were live in our data management platform, which is a part of RayVentory. And also the second part of it is the RayVentory catalog, and both of those combine different purposes. So you have the data management, where you have the ETL process bringing together all your data sources from the different connectors. As mentioned, more than 130 connectors out of the box today. And also, if you have further sources that you would like to add, we will be happy to create a new connector and bring it into the standard. And also, for example, if you want to scan your local environment, like your servers, your clients, and everything that's in your local environment, of course, RayVentory also has scan capabilities. So you can scan agent-based, you can scan agentless, so no agent required for that. And all of those possibilities coming with RayVentory in one bundle. And the catalog, of course, is there to normalize your data, to enrich it with further information, and to show you the vulnerabilities. Okay, let's jump real quick into the feature highlights of the new version 12.3. So as some of you are already a customer and using RayVentory in their daily business, you might be interested in what's new in the new release. And here we have a quick overview. So first of all, we have a lot of new standard reports and dashboards. Of course, you can still create your own reports and dashboards, and you can also keep them when you migrate, but we will offer you a lot of new reports and dashboards that you can just add by a simple click. Also, as mentioned, the ETL process, which is the second big part, has a graphic user interface now. So it's most likely drag and drop. You've seen it when Stefan showed it live, that you can create those lists, and it's pretty simple to use it now. So you can use it on a graphical interface. Also, we have a lot of new connectors. So those 130 plus are still growing, of course. You can see some of the examples on the right side. And if you want to install RayVentory new, there is a nice Docker environment available, so it's really even easier to install RayVentory by using a Docker system. And last but not least, we have a CyberArk integration, which means that you can now log in via SSL certificate-based authentication, so makes it even more safe. Okay, and now we will jump into the question and answer session. So please feel free to add further questions if you have some, and I will just load your questions and hopefully we can answer those. Okay, so the first question, is it required to deploy a RayNet agent on the assets to use these capabilities? So I guess the whole use case. Do we need an agent?
No, it isn't. We don't need an agent for scanning. We have separate components which can scan your environment zero-touch based or remotely based, so without any digital footprint. So it isn't required to install any agent on your devices.
Thank you. And the next question, the RayVentory catalog, does it require a connection to RayNet to update, I guess?
Yes, it does. The connection to, or better said, RayVentory catalog or technology catalog is a backend based online service. This means we definitely need a connection from your RayVentory installation to our catalog to collect these data through our ETL process.
Okay, so which CMDBs are supported?
all CMDBs because we are providing some generic connectors like SQL or PowerShell. With those connectors, you are able to collect data from each data source you want to.
Okay, I think this question is pretty similar. Does it have ServiceNow integration?
Same way, we are able to collect the data, enrich them with RayVentory, and we are also able to write them back to the CMDB if this is required. This is an optional part, and it's mostly decided by the customer if we want to get the data, the enriched data directly, or in some cases he wants decide by himself when he wants to pull them from RayVentory back to the CMDB.
Okay, so short answer is yes. All right. And do you plan to improve monitoring capabilities in Data Hub? So difficult question because I'm not sure what's meant with monitoring capabilities. So maybe we should discuss that afterwards, but in general.
Monitoring capabilities. RayVentory isn't a device monitoring. We are using the device inventory to get those snapshots seen in our dashboards. This is no device monitoring, but it is planned to monitor the application itself. So a better task management and so on, if this was the question. I'm not sure.
All right, yeah. So let us discuss that afterwards, maybe, so we can understand whether it was the right answer for the question. And now I would like to jump back to our slides. So yeah, here is our contact data. If you have any further questions, of course, please feel free to contact us. And also maybe to summarize or to give you some next steps, if you say, hey, I really have a CMDB problem, data problem, or I would like to see whether I have one, it's pretty simple. So we can offer you a proof of value where we just provide you our solution, data management platform, and we connect to some of your data sources, so 3 or 4 as an example, and then we can quite quickly show you where you have duplicated devices, where missing assets are, and also if you have vulnerabilities in your environment. So it's really, really simple, I would say. It's quickly done. Feel free to get in touch with us so we can provide you an offer for that and start improving your CMDB data quality. Thanks very much for joining us today and hope to speak to you soon.
Thank you.